Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Jacked. YGO here today. So today we're coming at you with a updated, like very long time ago updated, blind second Dino deck. So yeah, if you guys have known me for a while, or you guys have been watching this channel like since before I like even had like 500 subscribers. I had one other time where I did like a Shadal Dino. So if you guys want to know a little bit of history about Jack YGO or Miguel, basically I have two decks, right? I have number one is DDD. I'm never gonna move from that deck, right? It's always gonna be the deck I stay in Yu-Gi-Oh for. Number two, it's Dinos. Dinos is the other deck that I've always been on and off. I have it. And it's always that deck, if I just want to kind of take a break of other decks, or I'm just trying some other decks out, I go towards playing Go Second Dinos because, man, it is just so fun to just blow up people's boards. And some of the hands, like these hands you get in Dino, like Misk is such a broken card that it's just like you have to play it. So I thought this was like a good time to release this deck because the format is super diverse. And I was really overdue for just honestly posting a Dino deck. So yeah, I took this to my locals. I went 5-0 with it. It's really solid. I'm not gonna lie. Like the deck is really solid. You can even make like a few mistakes, and the deck is still just insane because it's so powerful. Honestly, like Mist Baby is just game. Like, and there's so many board breakers and so many cards. There's actually some new support that really helps this deck really well. But there's so many cards that this deck can utilize, like in terms of board breakers and hand traps and extra deck cards that just tears apart boards. So basically, every time, like there was probably twice where I rolled a dice, like actually rolled a dice to go first or second. The other times I was just like, do you want to go first or second? Because I knew everyone wanted to go first, even though they knew I wanted to go second. Well, sometimes I did. They would always want to go first, and I didn't care because going second, I break through every single board. So as long as I have like a decent hand. So yeah, I'm not gonna like talk too much about this. I mean, it is Dinos. I'm gonna like give a few shoutouts as I go along because there is a couple texts I'm running that that were inspired by other people. I don't like just stealing these texts and just saying, oh, this is like a common tech or this is my new tech, spicy tech. Like I'm gonna give shoutouts to the people that like had some support behind some of these texts. So yeah, again, I know you guys know me and a lot of you guys stick around for DDD content, but if you guys want to like honestly just give like this deck a shot, it's so fun to just bring to like a locals, or even this deck would actually do really well at a regional event right now, like a tier 2 event. Even a YCS it could do decent. The only issue I think that's going around is that Lancia is now being seen as a very popular opinion in the sideboard. Lancia like literally stops you from playing entirely unless you have an answer to it. The good news is that people are going to shotgun Lancia. They're not really going to hold it. So the good news is for you, unless they're a really good player and they know you're on Dinos, which they probably are because they're going to be siding it, then they're going to hold. But everyone's kind of has the trigger, is really trigger happy with Lancia this format. It's just a common tendency to just shoot it. So a lot of people that aren't super experienced are going to try to shoot it off, and then you have multiple answers to it like Gamma and Call By. So yeah, but other than that, like Lancia is like a complete blowout card. But again, similar instance to Cashtira where they're gonna have a really hard time setting up even a board at that. So yeah, not gonna talk too much further. Just gonna kind of get right into the deck profile, and yeah, I'll just do some test hands. Like I'm not really gonna combo with the deck because it's so straightforward and linear. But yeah, honestly, in all honesty, this deck is so fun. I think you guys should just give it a shot. Like I said, I'll only go first. The only time I decided to go first in any of these rounds was against Branded when game 1 I got Gimmick Puppet locked and my hand wasn't even super good to begin with. Actually, it was, just not for that. I didn't have the approach to deal with it. So I decided to go first, and then the game 3 he did the Gimmick Puppet lock on me, and I'll show you some of these techs that actually got me out of the Gimmick Puppet lock without like, like Bestials or anything. So yeah, without further ado, further talking, just going to get right into the deck profile. I'll see you guys on my playmat. See you in a bit. Boop. Whew. Okay, guys, so here is the deck here. Yeah, so again, this was the list I went 5-0 with. Not like it's OTS locals. I'm not trying to say it's like a huge accomplishment or anything, but I just figured I was really long overdue for a deck list for Dinos, and I figured this was like a good excuse to go ahead and make this, especially while the format's still really diverse. And honestly, yeah, you can take this exact list to like honestly a regionals, and you'll still do really well. The deck just blows through like every board. Like it's just so fun to just take a break from combo decks and stuff and just play a deck that doesn't care, that just wants to go second and just rips apart boards. Like, it's crazy. So I'm gonna hop right in. The main deck count is 41 cards. Yeah, I don't have to say anything about the rest. Sleeves are these, the Water Dragon. Our shop actually has all the art sleeves in, which is really cool. So I've been using this. You guys are aware this is not my DD mat. I felt this mat just suits dinosaurs. I don't know why. So yeah, so I played it and then I went 5-0 because I played the mat, I guess. So going into the list, 3 Oviraptor. Like, I don't have to explain any of this. This is like just straight up like caveman, right? Normal summon Ovi. You really like don't want to like start off with normal summon Ovi. It's not super strong because Misk is at 1. If you start off with Ovi, it's definitely your bait. Definitely the card people are gonna hit, right? For the baby package, this is blind go second. So I'm just playing this 3 and 1. No, don't need any more. If you're playing a scrap list, you would play probably another copy of Petite, I would say. But that is completely fine. 2 Archosaur. So up until locals, the locals I just played, I was always playing this at 1. I never thought I needed it because I always played it with Shadalls, and it honestly was fine because the Shadall cards synergized. But now that I'm playing it pure, I actually played this deck 3 locals so far. The last locals I played, I was drawing Archosaur like crazy, and it was just bad. Like, it just wasn't performing well. So from the last locals, I made a couple slight adjustments and got a second one of this. Honestly, like in a pure variant, you need the second one because you draw the one so frequently that it honestly waters that chance down so hard. Like, you're not going to draw 2 of them. It's so rare for you to draw 2, but honestly, I was drawing 1 so often, it was just crazy. So I had to play 2. And that was just smart. So one of, I don't have to get into that, right? Miscellaneous Source, oh my gosh. So Miscellaneous Source went to 3. This deck would be like literally the best deck of the format. 2 ofs, Double Conductor Tyranno. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this. Like, you don't play it at 1, you don't play it at 3. I used to play this at 3 back in Master Rule 4. This was Master Rule 4. This is the only deck I played was Dinos because that format sucked. That whole Master Rule sucked. That was honestly a big mistake. They should have just made it like Master Rule 5 or whatever. But yeah, I always used to play 3. 3 was alright, but I mean, 2 is, I never need more than 2. Especially like in this in this format, like, or I mean in this modern day, like, you're just gonna blow through a board and just win on the next turn, or just kill your opponent. So some things start changing up a little bit here. I'm playing 2 Dogoran instead of just 1. Kaijus are really good. You could play 3. I just don't have the room. But playing 2 is completely fine. Number 1, it's searchable, and number 2, playing 2 of it since you're playing Prosperity as well is very easy to see. Dogoran's, it's such a good card, and it also triggers Lost World. So yeah, not much to say about that. It's also a level 8, so they can't use it. For the tech cards, True King, Lithosagum, that's pretty straightforward. I'm only playing 1 of it because you don't need to play 3 of it. There's no point of playing 3 of it because you have Diagram and then you have ways to search it out, like the field spell out. And then Visa. So this is a tech that was inspired by, I seen this from, I don't know his name, but Bordeaux posted it, and this guy went like 3rd place at a Philly regional, I think. I don't even know, like some regional recently, like within the last month. He came 3rd place with the Go Second Dinos. That's actually what made me want to pick up the deck again. Because it just looks so explosive, and he was playing this, and I was like, oh, that's so good. Because this card, oh my god, like this card, just 1 second. This card with Baby is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. You basically like normal summon a Baby, and then you just go Visa's effect, and if they don't respond to it, it's like Destroy Baby, Special Oviraptor, Oviraptor Search. It's just so dumb. Like, this is so. I was playing Labyrinth. Round 3, I played my buddy that was on Labyrinth. Game 3, like we had a really good game 3. Where it came back to me having, he basically put me in a position where like I had to kind of play cards because anyways, it got to my turn and my only other card was Pankratops in hand, and then I drew Visas for turn, and he was like he did the effect where he discards a card, right? So I drew Visas and he discarded this, the Pankratops, off of the Lady Labyrinth or whatever. So I only had this, but he left 2 babies on my board. So I didn't. So he tried to even the board so I couldn't go into Pankratops. He pitched the Pankratops, and then I go Visa's effect when he still had like a Welcome Labyrinth and like 3 bodies. This was on like turn 3, I think, or turn 4, I think. And Visa's, it was the craziest thing. Like, this card just definitely shined. It was like Visa's popped one of the babies. He's like, oh. Yep. And then it popped the baby, and I just went off. Like, it was stupid. Like, you go like, this just gives you Baron instantly. Like, it's just so dumb. Like, OV searches, like, this tech is absurd. Like, oh man, this tech is so crazy. Like, it gives you easy synchro 10 access. It's actually just ridiculous. So, yeah, Visas was definitely the MVP. This card, it was into Labyrinth too. It was just crazy. Yeah, but this card came up quite a bit where I just make Baron. Yeah, pretty insane. My dog's going crazy. I don't know why. Probably because it's late at night. And there's someone outside. The last and final tech, like the only hand trap I'm playing is Gamma. So Gamma's actually sick. Like Gamma's this is Gamma is the best. Gamma is shines the most in this deck. Basically because Misk, right? You just go like Misk, Misk. They're forced to respond at Misk at some point. So Misk just baits it out, and then you just go Gamma, and then it's free. So Gamma is a Baron right now, and I'll show you why when I get to my extra deck. But Gamma, this card is like actually insane in this deck. Going first and second, like it's just so it's ridiculous. This card is, there's no other deck where this card is better, and like it's just, this is the absolute best card in Dinos, and it's also free access to Pill. It makes your Pill live. So yeah, it's a free Baron plus a Pill. If some of you guys don't know what I mean by free Baron, I'll get into that in a little bit. So 3 Fossil Dig, standard. It's ultra rare, so I can draw it more. Double Pill, standard. You don't play 1, you don't play 3. Field spells, like this is standard as well because diagrams at 1. Set rotation. Could you cut this? Yes, but I prefer not to because I want access to these. Diagram's insane, like just popping a baby. Honestly, didn't come up much last tournament. Lithosagam did, but I mean, I guess I just didn't draw this as much, or I just didn't really need it. But yeah, Diagram's nuts. Like just adding the True King. So I only play. You're basically playing like 3 True Kings, right? 4 actually. Like this is like 3. Diagrams at 3 essentially because of Terraform set rotation, and Lost World's like so good. This card actually like served a huge purpose in a lot of matches. Like what it targeting protection, just so strong, man. Targeting protection, all your opponent's cards lose 500 attack essentially because they're not on Dinos. 2 Elves Prosperity. These are my brothers. I don't actually own Prosperity. So he only has 2, but I think it works because the guy that I was watching, he was only playing 2, and it actually kind of made sense to only play 2. And I honestly find it was fine. I honestly found it was fine to just play 2. It's probably the same argument as playing like 3 Desires versus 2. But it's fine. Like the only thing that kind of sucks is that your opponent takes half damage. So if you really commit to blowing at your opponent's board, and they do have a good crackback, it might be hard, but you can usually set up a pretty solid board where it's like very hard for your opponent to reverse crack, especially on what they're usually on, because not every single, especially Cashier, like not every single deck's gonna have like a solid crackback. Yeah, if you guys want to know my matchups, it was round 1 was Branded. Okay, I don't even remember like in context, but I played Branded, Labyrinth, Dark World, Hero, and Hero was last, which is crazy. And then like the Dark World FTK, and then yeah, I don't remember what the other deck was that I played, to be quite honest. But anyways, oh, it was Vernisylph. Yeah, that was round 2. I played Vernisylph. Deck's actually pretty strong. So Board Breakers, Dark Hole. Holy crap, this card's insane. This card is absurd. Like this card was probably the best. This was the best Board Breaker card. This card, destroying your own babies, is stupid. This card actually wipes out a lot of boards right now. I think Nesh recently did a video with like Board Breakers and hand traps, and he said this card was like meh. I get it, but at the same time, like he kind of tailored it like a lot to Cashier, which I get it. It's essentially the deck to beat of the format, but it's at the same time it's not, because there's a lot of other decks that are pretty fairly on par with it. And Dark Hole has a really good, since the format's so diverse, I honestly truthfully think Dark Hole is such a good card to be in your main deck, in a deck like this, because basically you can just normal summon a baby or just set it. You can set a baby, Dark Hole, pop, baby effect special, like it's so strong. Yeah, Dark Hole, this is the best board breaker card in the deck. So basically what happened, I'll actually go over this in a second. So I'll go over the one-ups here. Sales ban, call by, and then 2 evenlies, like 2 evenlies solid. Don't need more than 3. This card didn't come up too much, but when it does, it just clears up the whole board. The only thing is, again, you lose your battle phase, and then you gotta set up. So it's pretty crazy because there's a lot of times where you can evenly match your opponent, and then just if you know they're gonna leave a monster up, you can save like a Pankratops in hand and special and just clear. The other thing you can do too is like evenly matched, and then Kaiju evenly matched. Like that comes up a lot. So yeah, evenly matched is a very solid card. You lose your battle phase, but you can still set up like a pretty well unbreakable board. The only thing that's kind of risky about that is that this deck doesn't have the same bounce back crackback that it used to, because Misk is at 1. So you just gotta watch that, right? But yeah, so this is kind of what Harpies is crazy. I drew this game 1 into this is so unexpected. I drew this game 1 into Labyrinth. It was just so dumb, like it was crazy. And call by and sales ban. So call by, sales ban, and Gamma is like essentially 5 answers to an Ash Blossom. And then it's 4 answers to like a Lancia, which is pretty nice. Sales ban is not going to answer a Lancia, but yeah. It can bait it out. Like if they hold it, like there is a world where like you can bait Lancia, where if they're trying to hold their Lancia, they're a smart player, they try to hold it. You can sales ban. I cited another one. You can sales ban and then declare Lancia, and then it forces out Lancia. So then that way, if you have Gamma, so sales ban and Gamma is like a pretty very strong, because then you're baiting out Lancia. They have to Lancia, and then you can Gamma. So they have to bank on you not having it. You have similar ratios of drawing Gamma versus them drawing Lancia. So basically, yeah, sales ban, if I could actually just touch on this card alone, this card's actually really solid. It baits out like everything going second. It stops the cards that are going to give you that one problem, because sometimes there is times with Dinos, if you don't have a super good hand, you might be losing to one certain card that they might have, and you can just declare that one card and you're off to the races. But what I did was I got locked. I got game 3, I got Gimmick Puppet locked in round 1. And I couldn't do anything to it. So basically what I did was I prosperity'd. I had sales ban. I went prosperity, and they didn't have opening. So I basically grabbed this. I went Dark Hole, blew out the board. He used Mirror Jade to send the dragon. He was trying to use a dragon effect at end phase to give him follow-up, because I knew he had no follow-up. He had a Cartesian hand. After that, I went sales ban, declared the name, so he couldn't search. And then he passed, and then I had Gamma in my hand for the Alibur. He summoned Alibur, and I Gammaed it. It was over. So yeah, that sales ban was really strong for me during the tournament. So if I can wrap up the MVPs of the deck, Prosperity was solid. But if I can really wrap up the MVPs, Dark Hole, sales ban for sure. Gamma was an MVP, and Visas was, I mean, the Dinos Misk, I'm not going to put those, but for the tech cards, like these were like the MVPs. These cards are like extremely solid. So yeah, 41 card list. Actually, this card, I drew this card actually quite a bit. This card, this card was another MVP too. Yeah, Feather Duster's the MVP as well. That actually won me a couple games, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, moving on to the extra deck, Anima, these, right, for the links. And then I forgot this one. So this is all 100% still being played. This is only here because I don't know where my Trisbana is. Trisbana is just going to clear out back row really easily, right? Over Zeroboros. I mean, Zeroboros is fine. If I can really commit, I can go into Zeroboros, and then if I have like a pill in hand or a T-Rex, I can banish whole board, and then I can just summon, and then it's just like game. I did that once out of the 3 tournaments I played with the deck. But yeah, this should be Trisbana. And then the best link 2 in the deck would be Lambda. Like Lambda puts out so much pressure because they immediately expect you have Gamma, or they have to walk right into it. So yeah, my dog's going crazy right now. I don't know why. XYZs. I get too carried away with this. I find boosting Tyranno to 7K is super entertaining. So, what I did in the finals against Heroes was I did a misplay where I boosted my Tyranno and I was just gonna go. I was so confident I had game. I flipped his. I flipped down his only card remaining, which was Destiny Hero DPE. I flipped DPE and I boosted my guy to 7K, and then I had whatever. I had an extra body on board, and I went to battle phase, and then I realized once DPE flips, it's gonna linger to make my extra body, so I couldn't kill him for 82. So sometimes I get carried away with this, but to double your Tyranno's attack is so dumb. So the good old combo is Dugares with Pentastag, and then you put a Tyranno underneath it. You just clear hole. It's like the easiest way to get out of games, where you just flip. You basically summon Tyranno, make a rank 4, Pentastag. It's like, do you have Nib? K game. Like it's so crazy. So yeah, that's it for the XYZs and stuff. And this is a synchro. So this is what I was talking about, where Gamma's a Baron. Basically, if Gamma resolves comes out, you summon Driver. You make Axel synchro, and Axel revives Gamma, and then it makes a Baron, or this, but yeah, you make Baron. So Baron, you have two ways of really easy ways of access of making Baron. I never really make Chenying. Baron's such a better card, but there is instances where if you have, I mean, the deck doesn't have issues getting around problem cards, boss monsters, but this can help. Baron, to make Baron, it used to just be Vizaz, but now it's Vizaz and Vizaz, Starfrost, and Gamma. These two both make Baron because of Axel Synchro. This because of Axel Synchro. Because Axel Synchro revives the level 2 tuner, you just revive Gamma back and it makes Baron. It's actually like a super nice tech. So yeah, it just gives an addition to the deck that's really fun again, which is what I really like about it. So yeah. Okay, and then going on to the side deck. Here we go, it's done. So I'm gonna move this over here. Move on to the side deck. Back row removal. Denko. This card's solid. Denko's really good. If you summon this against trap decks and you don't have judgment, you just auto win. There is a world where like you might need your normal summon, but it's definitely worth it, because if you don't need your normal summon and you have like the 2-card combo, you summon this, trap deck doesn't respawn, like trap tricks and stuff, they don't respawn. It's like an auto win. It's an automatic win. So yeah, Denko's pretty strong. If you're not a fan of Denko, you can just play more back row removal. You can play like another Cyclone, another Twisters, and then this can be like another card. Like another sales ban. Speaking of sales ban, another sales ban. So yeah, basically, if you're not a fan of Denko, you can like make Twin Twister, Cyclone, and then a third sales ban, if you like. Or you can increase this engine, the Bestial engine. So I'm playing Bestials on the side. I think they're extremely solid on the side right now. Like very solid on the side. And the Ghost spells. So this is for Branded. This is for Branded and Mathmech. Branded, Mathmech, anything that plays darks and lights. This is just so good. It's extreme card. Magnemite is extreme card advantage. Bell's really good into a lot of matchups, and it's also to stop you from getting expulsion. So you have you actually have 8 answers to expulsion. You also have Gamma that can stop them from setting expulsion, but they usually have Mercurier, which is fine. But this is usually going to stop you from getting expulsion because you do want to go second. Baldrake, like I said, if you don't want to play the Denkos, you can just make this like another Bestial, if you really want to. But yeah, the Bestial package is insane. I think you should be in this deck. You should be playing it because it's extreme advantage in the sense where Magnemite gets Baldrake, which is already an interruption. So you get these two for free. Essentially, this card becomes another interruption against dark decks. Like especially if they have Branded in red, you hold this for Branded in red, you special, and then this is also another interruption on board, and then you have your whole Dino engine. It's so crazy. These two, this is also free access to Lambda. So yeah, Yeah, the Bystials are, I found, were like the best cards in the side deck for me, especially in Dinos going second. Like extreme Magnum's extreme. If Magnum resolves, it's extreme advantage, and no one's playing around him right now. So I played this at shout out to Nerds. Like I played this at the Nerds tournament on Sunday for like 25 OTS packs for first. Basically, I played round 2. I played Math Mech, and the guy was so mad because he didn't see that I was gonna have a Bystial. He went super fact. They just play right into it. They go super factorial, target, and then I just go 1, and they just summon the rank 4, and it's literally just game. Like they just can't. They just don't do anything. So yeah, the Bystials are extremely solid. No one's playing around them at all. So yeah, I would definitely highly recommend, especially in this list, to be playing them. Okay, so that's the deck. I'm actually just gonna get into test hands because it's a little bit late. I don't want this video running too long. Like this is just straight up like a go second Dino deck. Like, there's not really much theory crafting that goes behind this, but, yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some test hands so you guys can just kind of see how powerful this deck is. Like, it's actually crazy. I know a lot of people come here for, like, the high IQ, like, DD combos, but, like, hey, if you want to take a break, I mean, this deck will still bust your brain a bit. Like, if you're trying to work, it's fun because you're trying to go second, you're trying to work your way around it's kind of like a very safe casino bet almost, is what I would call this. Yeah, going second, it works every time. Like, it's so strong. Unless they're going to expulsion you. You got to watch because you're probably going to want to go first if you think they have, if they're going to expulsion you. Because expulsion should not be a card. Honestly, that card needs to be banned. That card is, the fact that they can just summon Gimmick Puppet is just so stupid. There's no answering it. So, unless you have, like, the utility card, which cards like that just need to go. So, yeah. We'll just show you guys an example of like a go second hand. So that's already like insane. Yeah, that's crazy. So basically, this is why we play like the second Archosaur. Basically, you're just going to go like evenly matched, right? Evenly matched. Let's say it just all pans out well, just because. Fossil Dig, right? Fossil Dig. Yeah, I was like getting hands like this is why I like love playing this deck. This deck is just so dumb. But playing against it like DDDs, like if you guys are DD players, you know this is like the worst matchup possible. You basically go Lost World, Misk, Ash, Gamma, right? Like it's just dumb. They essentially have to Ash this, and they're gonna be flustering after an evenly too. I'm just giving myself the best case scenario. And then effect to pop, you add the pill. You go ahead and add the pill. Petite effect, specials. Overraptor effect adds. I didn't even normal summon, so I can just add a baby pretty much. I could add a baby, or I could add like, I mean, I have an Archosaur for follow up, which is crazy. Go like this. Axle effect revives. Make these. So I want to read Axle. Yep. Thought I did something wrong for a second. Put Baranote. Normal summon effect pop. Special petite back because this will give you a guy. Give you a Pankratops, right? Giant Rex. You can go for, I mean, I would probably link this off first for Link Karibo. And then I would link this off too for the Lambda, just because now they might think that this is a Gamma and they're gonna have to play more tedious around this. Pill, banishing this probably, or actually I'd rather have this over Axle. This, and then this will come back. I'm actually going to keep the, oh, wrong spot. Just going to keep this guy. You want to try to summon Tyranno under here because of the Pentastag. And then I'm just going to end on that. And Archosaur follow-up. So, yeah, and they can't target any of your stuff, which is pretty solid. Yeah, so this is why I decided to play this deck. I mean, like, this is like if they had an Ash and they had no answer to an evenly match. But I'm just trying to give, like, a prime example of literally like, I mean, that's literally how it goes when you're playing this deck. I mean, like, that hand this is literally a pure demonstration of what that hand would look like through a full board. Yeah, unless it's a deck that puts up like multiple Omni negations, which none of them do. I think that's why this deck can do pretty well right now, is because no decks are putting out multiple negates. It's more so like mid-range boards and like kind of control boards where one wipeout, like that's why I think this deck can do well, is because it's based off of board breakers. And yeah, like this speaks volumes for itself. So yeah, I hope you guys like that. Again, it's not DD content, but it's a nice break to just kind of post this sometimes. I do, like, if you guys have been around for a while, you know I've been doing this. Last time I did one of these was like 2021, so I'm almost like 2 years due for a Dino deck. So yeah, hope you guys like that video. If you guys want to see me actually like piloting this deck, it's super fun because it just literally kills people. Or if you guys think I should play this for the Toronto Regionals, I'm probably going to be playing DDDs, but the only thing I gotta watch is that there might be Lancia running around. If Lancia is really strong in the format, this deck might struggle a little bit, but you never know, right? So anyways, hope you guys like that, and don't forget to stay jacked. Peace.